We're back. Welcome
Hello,
back to Bookmates with Shelley.
and Yvonne, remotely.
Remotely this time. It's going to be a little different.
Yeah.
We'll see how this goes.
Yes, I think it's gonna go good. It's been good because we have been troubleshooting for the past
45
like
minutes, maybe.
45 minutes. But yeah,
Yes. Well, I miss you being right next to me.
same. But at least you don't get my coffee breath, so
Or
we're
my
good.
beef jerky breath because I have to have my protein in the morning. Well, in this episode, we're going to talk about our upcoming vacations because you and I both are so ready for summer.
Yes, we are super extra ready for summer
Yeah.
when I get
So
here.
you are heading to the beach first to South Padre,
Yes,
right?
yes, we are every year. Uh, since you guys know I'm from Puerto Rico, so it's been very hard to find a respectable beach here in Texas. No shame, just saying the truth. So we have been living here for a really long time before when the pandemic hit, we were like, let's go ahead and drive to South Padre, and we found this place. We rent the same place every single year, and it's just perfect. Yeah, we can't wait to go.
I never really thought about that being from Puerto Rico and coming here and trying to find a beach that's
It's abysmal. Yeah.
yes,
People are like, you should go to
Florida.
uh Galveston. I'm like, what?
Oh no.
Like, oh, okay. Hey, and again, no shame, it's different,
It's just
when
different.
you're accustomed to a type of beach, you know. I do have to say I like the sand here way better than the
Really.
sand in Puerto Rico.
So
Yes.
what's the
Yes.
sand like in Puerto Rico?
Here it's more compact.
Mhm.
In Puerto Rico, it's very loose,
Oh.
and it's very sticky. So, and with the humidity there, it's like the perfect storm for yeah, it's not at it's very exfoliating, the one in Puerto Rico versus the ones that you find here. So yeah.
Well, and so I've been to the Virgin Islands before,
Yes.
and the
Mhm.
biggest thing was the no-see-ums, the little bugs that would come out around 4 or 5 PM. It was like you had to get off the beach so quick, and I still am so thankful for the lady whenever we went there. She said, "Just get off the beach by 4 and you'll be fine." Is it like that in Puerto Rico too?
No. No.
Okay.
No, but in Puerto Rico we have well, we have the mosquitoes, and those are big, and then we have these little ones, we call them los mimes, and those can get yeah, you can pair them. I think they're like a distant cousin to the ones that they have in the Virgin Islands, so
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
But
Interesting.
we don't have a set time, it's not like for 4 to 5. It's whenever you you get bit.
Okay. So they're just always around.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. But since it's so windy, you don't feel it.
Yeah. So you and the whole family are gonna go to South Padre, and how long
Yes.
are
-1.
Oh,
Our
yes.
my oldest is still in college. His college is trimester, so he finishes in mid-June.
Okay.
But he's not a big beach person.
That's like my oldest
Yeah,
too. He hates the
yeah.
beach.
Yeah. Yeah. We had to when he was little, we had to force him to go to the beach, and it was like you thought you were killing him. It was that bad. Yeah. Very sensory. He's not
Yeah.
happy about it. But my daughter, she is like so looking forward, and my middle one too,
Yeah.
So yeah.
We were talking about it today on the way to school. I was telling the boys that we were gonna try to get these podcasts going and, because we were gonna be out of town, and I was telling that you were gonna be going to the beach and then to Puerto Rico, and then I was saying, "We really should go to Puerto Rico sometime." We were talking about it all, and then, yes, the oldest was, "Nope, I'll pass on that trip." I mean, he
I
really I
would.
mean, well, and he's a chip off the old block is because his dad hates sand because he is I mean, I wouldn't call him a clean freak, so to speak, but he hates the little granules. He'll take a blower, his blower. Yes.
No.
Yes. When we come off the beach, we have to sit on the bed of the truck and he blows with the blower all of our
But
sand
you know
off.
something? That actually is, that's wonderful.
I know.
That's very, very, yeah.
Yeah, so he also does not like the beach, but I think too he was in the Navy. He saw a
Yeah,
lot
yeah,
of water and beaches, and he's just kinda tapped out, and I think we were talking about it because you remember the I Survived books? Did your boys read
yeah.
those?
Oh my god, they were obsessed. We still have some
Yeah,
here.
ooh, I
If
might
you
need to
want
borrow
some.
some.
Yeah.
So the youngest loves it, and
Mhm.
we're reading the shark attack one, so we've been talking about sharks and
Ooh,
everything,
yeah.
and that's another because when my husband was in the Navy, I mean, they saw so many sharks, and they actually did drills for if somebody were to go overboard and
What to do, and if
and what
the
to
if
do,
the
and then they
the
had
water was hard.
yeah, and then they have people manning. So there were times where they would let them they would cut the engines and they would let them go swimming, and
Uh-huh.
they had people manning the guns and watching to be prepared to shoot if any sharks came up.
Quieto. No, 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 no.
Yes.
No, sorry.
I know. So he's kind of like, "You know what? I know what's out in the deep blue sea. I don't really
Besides,
wanna go in
I'm
it."
good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can see that, yeah. Now my husband, he's a surfer,
Yeah.
so moving here was very, very hard for him. But a surfer that he went to competitions to Hawaii and different places to compete and surf. So so when we found that little place in Sao Padre, we were like,
I
oh.
know.
But I do have to say I really enjoy how you guys do the beach here in Puerto Rico. You will probably you yes, you take your it's not a production like here.
Oh, yeah.
Here you
It's
go with your tarp and you put, because you're gonna be there
all
all
day.
day long. Here in Puerto Rico, you most people have beach chairs on their back of their car in their trunk, and you don't need a lot of preparation. You just go park, go for an hour and then leave. I like it more how they do it here, because you go, you set everything up, and then you're there for the whole day.
Well, and then
That's
you
the
told me
night.
last year that your husband goes he's, like,
Oh
out
my god.
with his binoculars scoping out
So
the spot.
so we found this place, and um this place, when we arrived, it was like a carbon copy of the beach house that my grandparents had when I was growing up. And the back faces completely to the beach. And it's like maybe 30, 40 steps and you're at the beach. So every morning that we are in Sao Padre, my husband, he brings his binoculars, and you will see him at 8 a.m. scouting and watching. And you cannot set up before 9. So you see that everybody is ready. You see all the dads ready. So he goes and he has his special like little shovel, and he goes and he sets everything up, and he takes pictures of the beach when it's like all nice without anybody in it. And then I stay back, I make breakfast, and then he heads out. He comes, eats, heads out, and then I'll join him like around 11. But yeah, we love it.
That's so funny.
But
That was
yes, you see
totally
him.
my dad. So I kind of had a little bit of a similar experience with the beaches when we moved to Texas that versus Louisiana because we were close to Florida And it was
Yes.
only a 6-hour trip to we would always go to Destin, Florida with just those
Yes, and that's
it's
beautiful. Those are
beautiful, the white sand and then clear water, and that was my dad. He would get up in the morning, and this was before and he talks about it now because we went last year, the
yes.
same place that we used to go growing up. We stayed in the same complex. It was so sweet. And, he was talking about he said, "I don't know remember if you could actually rent stuff like you can now. You can rent the chairs and whatever the setup, and it's already there in front of some of these
Yeah,
complexes." He couldn't
that's
remember
so
if they
cool.
did it, and he said, "If they did, I probably wouldn't have done it anyway. I wouldn't have spent the money." But, yeah, he would go out early in the morning, set up everything, and then we would come down and, trickle down later. But, yeah, I felt the same way when we came to Texas. I was so disappointed in the beaches and the brown water because the water
Yes.
was so clear in Florida. The beaches were white sand, and then because my parents live near Galveston, we would and once we moved here, we just started taking the boys to Galveston, and I was like, "Oh, man, this is just"
In a pickle, it's what you get.
it's better than
That
nothing, and they don't know
yeah,
any better. They didn't know any better.
exactly.
I did, but they didn't.
That type of sand, it reminds me of, moon sand. Remember the
Oh,
moon s
yeah.
That's the type of sand that reminds me the sands here.
Yes, you're
In Puerto
right.
Rico, it's more,
It's finer?
like it's it's almost a texture of brown sugar.
Oh, okay,
That's the difference.
okay.
Yes, that's, like, the best way to put both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so you'll do the beach, which will be fun, and then you'll go to Puerto Rico, and how long are you gonna stay in Puerto Rico?
So, we are gonna be staying there for 3
Oh,
weeks.
wow, I thought it was 2, so
Yeah,
3.
yeah, 3 weeks. I had the opportunity of, having the summer off. My job of 13 years is ending this week. So, I decided I was going to take the summer off anyway to stay, here with the kids. But then I started talking with my husband, and we decided, he's like, why don't you go and, be there? So I'm going to go there. I'm going to stay. I always stay at my parents' house when I go. And we're going to celebrate my middle one's birthday over there. He's super excited about that. Um, Now it's only me and two of my kiddos. The oldest, he's still in limbo. We don't know what he's gonna
Maybe
do.
he'll fly to
All
meet you.
Yeah, it all depends. If he finds a job during the summer, then he's staying put. If not, he's going to rough it out in Puerto Rico. Uh, but yeah, I'm excited. We're excited about that.
So, both kids and you will be there the entire 3 weeks.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
and now will Augustine come and join at any point?
No, I don't think this time he's gonna come. We do want to go for Christmas.
Okay.
Valeria has never been in Puerto Rico for Christmas, and since this year, for this next school year, the kids start later in January.
Yes, they do. You get
We
that
were
full
Yeah.
1st week of January this
Yes.
year. Yeah,
So, in Puerto Rico, we celebrate the 3 kings,
yeah.
like, So, we were thinking of probably going and doing New Year and being able to celebrate the 3 kings in Puerto Rico.
Oh,
So,
nice.
yeah, so I think Agustin is gonna stay put, this time, and then we'll all go together in December
Okay.
if everything,
Yes.
if the universe and spirit, if everything keeps going good, then we will be there, for December.
Yeah. Okay. Well, great. Well, I'm excited for you. I know that you're very excited to be back. And then it makes such a difference to have that long stint. You don't feel as rushed to
Yes.
try to put everything in a short amount of time. And then I don't know. I mean, for me, anytime I would go back home, it was so quick and trying to see
Yeah.
friends. And then because my husband and I are both from the same town, trying to see both sets of family
Yes.
and friends was always hard too. So to be able to stay, you
Yes.
really get you get to that quality time and not just rush 10 minutes here or 15 minutes there.
Yeah, and it's also that day to day, it's getting um we were talking about that too. He's like, well, if you go in the summer, you're actually going to be able to be there, and I was telling my sisters that uh maybe like help out around the house and organize, and there's some changes going on over there, so it's the perfect time for me to go and help out. And because when you live away from family, you I know it's not, nobody judged you or anything like that, but you feel bad that you're not
That you're not
there
there. Yeah.
to help out for the day to day, so being able to do that, that's, like, amazing.
Yeah.
And, so, yeah, and I'm gonna cook. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna cook for them. So, you know that both our love language is cooking.
Yes.
Shelly is an amazing cook too. Oh my
When I
goodness.
have the time and actually put in the effort.
I had her gumbo this past Christmas, and, yeah, I dream about it still. So, yeah, so good.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know if you're like me. I whenever I'm back home, so we'll be
Mhm.
heading to Louisiana as well. Not as well, but we will be traveling and that's where we are
Yeah.
going and going back home, so to speak.
Uh-huh.
And whenever I'm back in that, I want to cook all the foods that I grew up eating because you're
Yes.
in that element. You have all the ingredients too.
And they're fresh. They're the
Everything's
best
fresh,
ones.
to get the fresh seafood and all of that.
Yes.
I find that I enjoy cooking so much more whenever we're back home and at the lake house. And even when we have people over, they're always, "Whoa, let me cook, let me help you." I was like, "Oh, I'm good. I'm good. I
This
really do wanna do this right now."
this this is part of the things that I enjoy. I appreciate it,
Yeah.
but yeah. For example, my sister, the little one, she was, telling my niece, my niece is 4.
Mhm.
She was telling that, Titi Wonchi is going, to visit, and the first thing she says, "Can you tell her that I want a turkey?"
Oh, he told me
So,
that, yeah.
I'm gonna be doing, Thanksgiving dinner in the middle of July back home, because but those are the things that I live for, you know what I'm saying? It's
Yes.
like, I love that.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I understand when you say, "Nope, it's good." My dad will always like, "No, no, I don't want you cooking." I'm like, "You don't understand. This makes me happy.
Yes.
This is,
Yes.
yeah."
Well, and
I'm excited for you
y
guys. You're gonna have so much
I
fun.
know, I'm really excited. So we'll head out Saturday morning. We'll make a stop off at my parents' house and spend a couple of days with them, and then we'll
Mhm.
head to the lake after that, and then we'll be there for about 2 weeks, and then come home for 2 weeks, and then go back for 2 weeks, and that's typically what we'll do in the summers because once it
Mhm.
gets mid to late July, the wind stops, the humidity ramps, and it's just miserable up there. It's just
Oh, okay.
well, and because here in Austin, in this area, all of the lakes here are spring fed, so the water is always cool and it's
Oh,
constantly
yeah.
cool, but back there it's not. And
Yes,
so
because
it's
it's
almost like a
very
bath water by the time you get to the late July.
Oh,
So it's just not worth it to be up there. It's just kind of miserable. So we'll do those 2 stints and I'm looking forward to it because we do not have internet up there. We do not have cell service really.
it's
So
the best
you're going to
really
have to
over there.
take the reins for posting for our
No worries, I will, my friend. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you guys though.
Yeah.
Guys, their lake house is such it's a little piece of heaven on earth.
Yeah.
It's like perfection. It is such a uh, there's no words to describe. And yeah, I had the honor to go with Shelley last November, and it was beautiful. The
It
best.
really is. I mean, it's so serene, and I didn't really appreciate it as much on in the early days because growing up in that area and growing up in the woods and growing up with lots of space and not and neighbors nowhere near, I didn't
Uh-huh.
really appreciate it as much until we moved to the city and
Yeah.
to see.
It always happens like that.
Yes, and so now, I mean, we crave that going back. We went for spring break, and even the boys, as soon as we pulled out of the driveway to come back to Austin, they said, "I don't wanna go back home," and they said, "I feel so claustrophobic in our backyard with all the fences," and, I was
Oh,
like, "Ugh, I know, I feel the same way." So, it's nice, and I think 2 weeks is a really good amount of
time
time
to
to be there and just kind of we create, like you do when you go back home, all of a sudden there's a new routine that we create there, and the boys are older now, so they're way more independent. I don't have to be kind of on them as much, although we
yeah.
did have a lot of snakes at spring break, and the
Okay.
water has been very high. There's been a lot of rain, so I'm a little nervous about that. This has been the first time that we've had that many snakes.
Yeah, I'll take the fall. Thank you. No.
I know, but the water is super high. And see, when you came with me, the water was super
It was very
low.
low.
Well, they've had
Yes.
so much rain. If you remember where our dock is, the water's up right underneath it. So it's like touching the bottom
What?
of it. Yeah.
That's a
It's a
lot.
lot. It's been
So then the little thing,
the little
the
beach.
little rock that we had to walk
Oh yeah, that's
through to
covered.
you need to take
I
pictures and send
know.
them to
I'll
me.
I'll take pictures. We've
Oh my
gotten a few
goodness.
from family members that have gone by there to just check on things. But the water is so high that it's been throwing debris up into the yard. So
I cannot even fathom
I know.
that.
So
Wow.
this trip will be a little different because there'll probably be a lot of cleanup happening first.
Wow.
But
But,
hey, that our boys are old enough and they can do that.
that's what I was gonna
And
say.
it'll give them something to do. So, but yeah, nice, slow, easy summer. I'm really excited
Yes,
about it. And I don't know how about y'all, but I typically go offline mostly in the summer and just kind of check out from social media and just being on devices throughout the
uh-huh.
summer. I kind of the boys and I have what do we call it? Like a device diet we go on.
Okay. Okay.
And we start the mornings. This isn't included when we go to the lake because it's different because we don't have Wi-Fi or anything there. But at home, how we'll do it is we have one Nintendo Switch
Okay.
and they will take turns. So one will get it for 30 minutes while the other watches a 30-minute show. This is in the mornings. And then they'll
Mhm.
flip-flop. So then that puts us at about an hour that they get of electronics, and that gives me my
Mhm.
hour of if I'm gonna do electronics or my coffee or my reading or whatever it may be, and then they
That's
have to
your
go outside, and we'll go for a bike ride, or we'll go to the park, or we'll do a whatever before it gets too hot and
mhm.
have lunch, and then afternoon, we'll do another round of that, but then that's it. They only get it twice a day.
Wow.
And it really, I mean, sometimes I'm like, "Oh," and I'll throw a movie in there, especially in the heat of the summer. But, yeah, we kind of detox a bit.
I'm actually looking forward to see how this new routine is gonna be for
Oh,
us
yeah, with
now
you not working
this
this
summer.
summer.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to it because I've always I've always felt very self-conscious and very guilty of not having enough time, because people think that by working at home you have all the time in the world, and it's sometimes
Sometimes
harder
it's
than
harder.
actually going
Yeah.
to an office, because you have it here, but then everybody that it's home
They
is like,
see
well, you're
you're
here,
here, so
and they're like, well, you can help me, and you end up doing so many other different things. And I've always had, anyway, I always try to Fridays have the day off. But even with that, it was so many different, so many things. And I'm really looking forward to being able to do more things, and Valeria and I were talking about we want to, like, maybe go for a walk in the mornings when it's cooler, do some things that are different.
yeah.
And maybe go to the park, or maybe go to the library. She's really looking forward to the pool during the summer.
Yeah.
That's, like, huge for her. It doesn't matter where you're taking her, the best place on earth, if it has a pool, that's the place to be,
Yeah.
remember the first time we took her when she was a little bit older, when we took her to Disney, she was, like, super excited. She's like, "The pool was amazing."
Ah!
And we're like, "Oh, okay." I guess nothing else was
Oh,
important,
I
only the
know.
pool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And she actually she has seen me reading so much this past year that she was telling me that um the library and a friend of hers told her that Barnes and Noble has a summer reading
They
challenge,
do.
and she was actually very interested
Aw.
in doing that. I'm like, I think that's a wonderful idea.
Yes. Oh,
So
I love
I know
that.
that the boys, and I really like that you have always done that with the boys, in terms of it's so much easier to give, and each their own.
Yes.
We don't judge here.
Nope.
What works for us will not maybe work for you, and vice versa. Something that I have always cherished a lot about our friendship and our relationship is that we know and we are very respectful of the way that each one parents,
Yes, yes.
um but I think that's so important. My kids, they don't have social media, only the oldest, because he's already graduated.
Mhm.
Uh, but my middle one doesn't have social media. I'm the bad mom about that. I don't
No,
care.
no, you're not. You know how I feel
Uh,
about that.
yeah,
You're
yeah,
gold star.
exactly. Yes. And actually, he has told me that he actually now he understands why, and he kinds of enjoys not having to be on that, like,
Yeah.
he's like, the way that he tells me is like, I don't have to be on all the time.
Yeah, well, definitely. I think we've talked about we need to have an episode about all of that
Yes, yes,
for
yes, we
sure,
do.
and we can deep dive
Yeah.
into that.
Yes, that would be awesome.
Well,
Do you wanna share some of the
books.
recommendations
Yeah.
that we got for reading during the summer?
Yes, and then also, um, what are you planning on reading? So you're going to the beach and then to Puerto Rico. So what are your planned reads for the summer?
So, during the summer, I always like to pick like a feel good, like a rom-com type of
Okay.
book. Um there's one that I've seen, and a follower sent me a message. It's called The Paradise Problem
Okay.
by Christina Lauren. And I don't know who else started rewatching Bridgerton. I'm still waiting on the
I
next.
haven't watched it either. I haven't watched the latest season. What is it, season
Me
3?
neither. Season 3, yeah. I'm waiting for the whole season to be out
And binge it.
to watch it. Yes. Um, but there's one that it's called uh Wives Like Us by Plum Skies.
Okay.
And they say it's like, Bridgerton-y vibes. That one, I'm almost done with the Dark Window.
I can't believe it. You are totally going to bypass me. You have bypassed me. It is going to be a first in the books. Let it be known to the
This is it,
universe.
but you know something, whatever, because this is only the second time I have surpassed her. So yeah. And it's because she has been doing a lot of other things. So yeah.
So yeah, so you'll finish that one. And then you're going to start
I
book
think I'm
2.
gonna yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna finish that one. I think I'm gonna finish it by Friday of this week.
Okay.
And depending on the cliffhanger of that one, maybe I'll take one of the, happier ones to the beach. I was thinking of either doing um You and Me on Vacation by Emily Henry,
Okay. And that was a
or yes.
that author was recommended.
Oh, yes. Yes, it was. And there's one that was recommended to me by a friend of mine. It's I don't know how big on mythology you are. I know we have, talk about,
It
but
depends.
there's one. Yeah, there's one from the author of Songs of Achilles. It's called Cirque,
Okay.
or yeah, by Madeline Miller. They told me that it's a very good book. So I'm considering buying that one as a hardcover because at the beach I'd like to have
Yeah.
like a physical book. Um then another book that I know I'm going to read because we picked it for a book club that I'm part of. It's called Tom Lake by Anne Patchett.
Oh, yes. I think I've seen that one too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe we can read that together
Yeah,
too.
that could be something.
Yeah.
I think you and I both were in agreement that we're going to do kind of just some single one-off other genre books this summer, just really mixing it up a little bit before we start Crescent City in the fall. I know you're antsy. Okay, so I have some audiobooks going that I'll probably listen to on the way. I
What?
mean, it takes me forever to get through an audiobook.
But still.
So, well, the one that I've been picking off is look, I got the hard copy because this is what I do.
Okay.
And so the
It's okay.
Anxious Generation, I've been talking about this one for a
Yes.
while. It's so, so, so good. And I had to get the hard copy so that I could highlight and make some notes. Oops. But I'm gonna continue to listen to this one. I'll probably finish this one on the way. And then I've had this one for a while, the Fountains of Silence. I like
Ooh.
Ruta. Wouldn't even know how to say Sepetys.
Petty?
I really like her.
Petty's?
I've read some other books. I can't think of them off the top of my head, but historical fiction. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this one for sure. And then I like poetry, and I picked this one up a few months ago when I went to Dallas, and it's um like New Sabbath Day
Okay.
poems. And it's just this man that, I mean, he's an older gentleman. He started writing poetry when he bought his land in the middle of nowhere. And so it's got a lot of just nature wrapped in it as well as scripture kind of mingled through.
That book for me, I saw it and I just thought about the lake. So,
Exactly.
no wonder you picked
Yeah.
it. Yes,
Whenever I
exactly.
saw it, I was due for another poetry book, and I typically will get maybe one a year. And I started this over spring break at the lake, and just like daily sitting out there, will read just a
Yeah.
few poems. So I'll do that one, and then definitely Dark Window. I will finish that because I have that one on Kindle.
Mhm.
And yeah, I think that's the first leg of summer is what I'm thinking. And then there were oh, yeah, The House in the Cerulean Sea. I've been really wanting to do that one. It's been recommended by a few people. So,
Okay.
I'll probably do that one on the second leg. And like you said, there were some by Emily Henry, and then another friend of mine had recommended Amazing Grace Adams. So, I'll probably maybe pick that one up too. But yeah. Those
And we're always gonna do the same. We're gonna have tons of
Yep.
books, and then we're gonna oh, and I am doing a reread of Blood and Ash during the
Oh,
summer.
yeah, and I might do some rereads with that one too. We'll see
Yeah.
about that, but yeah. But yay, happy summertime.
Yes!
Alri
I'm
I know,
excited.
I am too. We'll have a great summer. It'll be great.
Yes, it will.
Okay, alright.
See you guys. On
Bye.
to the next. Bye.